Hello friends, my name is Hamid. Today I have this KitchenAid range. The customer's complaint is that the unit is not maintaining its temperature. It's not heating properly, it's taking a long time to heat. So today I will show you how to test some of the basic components and how to find the problem and fix it. I'm going to need this multimeter. I may need this, I may not need it, but I'm going to pull the unit out and then work on it from there. The model and serial number on this KitchenAid unit is located right here. When you open the door, this is your model number. The customer mentioned that if they run bake, it takes hours to maintain its temperature and then it will still not work properly the way it's supposed to. To check this unit, what's happening is the very common problem on these units are the bake element. So the bake element is located at the bottom of this panel and it's hidden bake element. I'm gonna have to remove this rack, these two racks, and then after that I will check your bake element. Once the racks are removed, there's two Robertson screws we're going to remove. And the screw looks like this. And then after removing the two screws, this panel, you lift it out from the back. So once you remove the top part here, this cover, the bake element this is your bake element, and most of the time you will see a little bit of explosion here or on each of those sides if you look at it, but it seems okay. So because of that, we have to check the bake element to see if it's working or not. In order to do that, we have to pull this bake element out to test the contacts from the back. If you see the bake element broken and it does not look normal, see, this is looking okay and normal. If it doesn't look normal and it has holes or scratch marks on it or it's blown, I'm going to post a picture the way it's supposed to look. If it looks like that, then you have to replace your bake element. If it's not broken, then you may want to pull the unit out and test the pins from the back and see if the bake element is still broken, or if the back of the element has a burnt wire, or the control board is maybe not sending any power to the bake element. I'm going to pull the unit out and test it from the back. In order to pull the unit out, you want to protect the flooring. I got this sheet. You can use a cardboard box and cut it and put it in front of the oven or in front of the stove, and then you can pull it out. So if you lift up the oven from the front, please do not hold it from the handle or from the door. You put your hand inside, lift up the oven, and then pull it out slowly. You can use the handle in the door and then pull it all the way out. Once the unit is out, now you and your customer got a chance to clean the back of the oven. If it doesn't look very clean, this is okay, it's not too bad, but we'll still wipe and clean it. I'm gonna turn off the power to the stove by unplugging it. To unplug the unit, you want to hold it and move it back and forth in this position and pull it out. The unit is pulled out and I cleaned the back of it. Now we're going to remove one Robertson screw from here, one from here, and now this piece comes out. Kind of lift it up. There we go. Be careful, you can use a small towel to put this on the floor. You do not want to scratch the floor, or you can keep it on the side. And then this is the electrical wires for the bake element. Of course, the unit is unplugged. You unplug one of these pins or two of them so you can see it clearly. So here's the meter. You're gonna turn it to continuity and leave it on the side somewhere. Just leave it there. And now you have to check your probes first to make sure it makes noise. I'm testing the continuity of this bake element with the beep noise here. You can also check the resistance, but we're just gonna check for continuity here. So if your bake element is working okay, you put one of the pins here, another pin here, and hold it together. Your meter should make noise. the way it's making noise. I'm gonna bring this closer so you can see how it's working. See, one pin goes here, another pin goes right here. No noise. I can bend it to show you exactly between this pin and this pin. So that means that the bake element is broken. I understand that the bake element seems okay from inside if you look at it, but if you test it, it's not giving any continuity. That means that the bake element is broken. So we are not finished here because once you confirm that the bake element is broken, you do not want to just replace the bake element and expect it to work. We also want to confirm to make sure that the control board, which is located at the bottom of this control panel as the main relay board, we want to make sure it's also okay, because in some cases when the bake element breaks, it will also damage the control board. And once it damages the control board, you will assume that the bake element is broken. I tested for continuity, everything is okay, and then you just order the part, replace it, that takes care of the problem. You do not want to do that. You want to make sure 100% that the bake element is the problem here, not the control board. So to confirm it, what you can do is you have to leave the bake element the way it is, and in this case you have to be very careful because you're at the back of the stove. So what we can do is we have to be careful. We are at the back of the unit and we are going to plug it in. So plug it in, and now we are going to turn on the bake option here from the control board here. We're going to select bake 350 already and then press start. So once you start the stove from the front there, you have to come back to the back. Again, remember, you are working with live wire here. If you're not feeling comfortable, don't do this. If you're feeling comfortable, yes, it's okay, you can do this. So now we're gonna choose our meter to voltage. When we put our probes here between this pin and this pin right here, you have to plug in the wires. If you leave it here between these two, you should have between 220 volts to 240 volts power coming in, because now you turn on the bake element here, so you should have power coming here. 243 volts, that's good. That means our control board is healthy, the control board is not blown here, and everything is perfectly fine except the bake element needs to be replaced, as you can see this. If the probes are here on the bake element and you see the powers, you have 240 volts here. So if you see that your probes are there but the power goes off here for a couple of seconds, don't get panicked because that's completely normal. So what the bake element does is when the control board sends power here, 240 volts, after a couple of seconds it cuts off the power to the bake element and it sends power to the convection element. There's at the back, and here if I remove this panel you will see a convection element. The power goes there for a couple of seconds and then after that it goes power to the broil element. So the power is gonna go back and forth from broil to convection to bake. So if you see power going off from here for a couple of seconds and then it comes back again, do not assume that you have a bad board. That means that the control board is sending power to the different elements of the oven until it reaches its temperature. Once it reaches its temperature, only the bake element stays on. The convection element and the broil element will completely turn off until you run the oven for a couple hours and then turn it off. That's the way this stove works. So we know that the bake element is blown, it's broken. We are going to unplug the unit, and then once it's unplugged, you can remove these pins, this one, the connector, and here, and we have to replace our bake element. To replace the bake element, we are going to remove 2 screws They're both Robertsons. I push the stove back in and you open the door. There's two screws here. There's one Robertson screw here. And there's one Robertson screw here. And then this element, you already disconnected the electrical wires from the back. Remove it. And here's the new bake element, the way it looks. See how nice and smooth it looks. And the part number for this bake element is W1028909716. And I will leave the link of this part number on my bio. At the bottom of my video, you will see it. To reinstall the bake element, you hold it in a position like this, insert it. If it looks a little bit bigger, you can pinch it in, bring it closer, and then reinstall it back in. And then this one, you may want to bend it a little bit. After adding the element screws from inside, you want to come back to the back of the unit and add your electrical wires back in. Do not worry, it's not going to make a difference if this wire goes here or that one goes there. It doesn't matter which one goes where. You just add your electrical wires back in. The only thing you want to keep in mind here is make sure that your connectors are not loose like this. See, this is loose. And if your connectors are loose like this, it's gonna cause overheating issue in the future, and then it's gonna burn the wire or it's gonna burn the element pin. So if the connectors are like this, you may wanna pinch them in a little bit with a needle nose plier. Like this, and pinch it in a little bit. Not too much, just a little bit. And we are going to see how it looks. I think I pinched in a little bit too much, but it's okay. It's good. See, it's not moving. The same thing I'm going to do with this one. You can only remove it from its pin and then hold it with plier and pinch it in a little bit. And see. Okay, see, this is good too. And then, of course, you see this bracket here, this one, and this one. We have 3 holes inside of this back panel. Also, one important note here is that for some reason, if you see your element pins are sticking out too much out, kind of bend it. Hold it from the bottom, just a little bit like that. Bend it just to be on the safe side and make sure it doesn't touch the back of this and then damage the control board or burn the wires. So now we can put this back here. You kind of line it up here like that. So you have to hold it in kind of 45-degree angle and then push it in. And yeah, add your screws here. On other side. Once you added your screws, just double check here to make sure it looks good. See, it's inserted inside, and then you can plug it in. Before you push the stove back in, line it up straight and then work on it slowly. Because if you line up the stove and it's not lined up properly to the cabinet and you're pushing it, you're gonna damage the side of the cabinet. So you just be careful with that. And then you can push it to the back. You can start the bake element. I usually do not put the cover back in where it goes on top of the hidden bake element, just to make sure that I show the customer that the bake element is now coming on, it's glowing red, and there is nothing wrong with it. So we're going to wait a couple of minutes and see how it goes. It's 135. While you're replacing the bake element, if that was the case, and testing the stove, the customer can clean this, and he did a good job. I can see it looks very nice and clean here. And you can go back again and see how it's going here. I can feel the heat, but it's not glowing red. I'm gonna wait. So within 3-4 minutes, the element is glowing red. So as you can see, the bake element is glowing red. It usually gets more red than that, but it's just the way it looks. So you can also show this to the customer and see it's working. So the stove is fixed. Thank you so much for watching my videos. If you guys have any question, please comment below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel, like my videos, and share it with others. You can also follow me on Facebook. It's called Hamid Appliances Repair, and on TikTok, Hamid Appliances Repair. Thank you.